All right, devils out there, happy Friday. Well, we'll take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and we'll take a peek at the S&P. See if we can deduce anything from this crazy price action. Well, shouldn't call it crazy. I mean, it's price action, right? Market's going to do what it's going to do. We got to try and react to it appropriately and with intelligence and not with emotion, and see if we can kind of zero in on where we see the highest probability for this to continue, which is why I'm out here on the weekly. Sometimes, right, when we get, this kind of a price action here, better to just pull back out to, some weekly, even monthly. Is there any confusion about the trend here? I think probably not, right? The only question is, right, okay, well, now we've had this massive wick down here working. It's, of course, price action working hard to try and recover, but it's a little too soon to just plant the 4 here and say, okay, we're out of the woods. It's possible. It's tough to really lean into that too hard until we get a little more price action, right? Markets, didn't last week here, we'll look at this more closely. Really hard to see this as anything but impulsive, right? So we've got to we got to reconsider. That was what looked like it was on deck, right? As the market was working through that, but now we get this. Things change. Counts have been radically changed. But let's just stay here on the higher time frame. Again, this may be pulling out here. Oh, if we pull. I'll use this one here. It's a little bit cleaner here. Do we have to come down and challenge this low one more time? It's a very, very reasonable expectation that this low has to get challenged. Now, again, market is never under any obligation to do anything, right? It's going to do what it's going to do. We're just trying to respond accordingly and being very mindful of risk management and money management here. I'm going to tell you the truth. Sitting here in the middle of August, I don't think you want to be pressing anything, quite honestly. It's a good time to maybe take a little break from it. Let the market do what it's going to do here and not try and catch every swing right now. But let's. I'm going to pull away from this. I think always a good idea to keep a weekly, just for the bigger picture. So let's go over to the daily here and some of the things that I think make this quite challenging here. I have been spending quite a bit of time with this. Before I started here, I cannot get over this. Oh, where are they? I cannot get around these 2 5s, right? They're just, I can't shuffle them out, right? And I'll be quick to work an Elliott shuffle to get a count to work here, but I cannot get around these as 5s, right? Now this is a double here, right? So it leaves it open to interpretation, right? You could think A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's because of that lack of clarity, it makes me hesitate, right? But if I really dig in here, 1, 2, this looks like a 4, so it looks like I get a completed impulse here, classic sideways for the 4, and then I get a little 5 to finish here. So if I had gun to my head, if I had to pick of the 2, I'm leaning into the 5. This, again, open to interpretation. It's not clean, but it certainly looks more like a 3 because you don't have a clean impulse in the middle of it. This has been this again over here can be interpreted multiple different ways, right? Some people are interpreting this as a 5 this way. That wouldn't be invalid. It's a little sloppy no matter how you do it, right? The same thing over here. I'm kind of working backwards from this because if indeed here, and this is too soon to really call this. This is not a great looking start to an impulse. Now it may turn into that. But as it sits right now, this looks to me like it's just working a 3 here, right? Here's the relief rally. Okay, yeah, if we do this, okay, right, different story. But we haven't done that yet. So it looks like perhaps, get that off there. If this is going to play as a 3, we've got a good candidate here for a B, and we roll over one more time. So this, again, just looking at what the options are here, this looks like at least to come down here and test this, and that would give us a completed WXY. Now, nothing says we can't go down lower, right? Absolutely nothing says that. In the mid 40s, would be surprising. It would be surprising, but we'd be, but here's the 50 from the proposed 2 down here. Would not invalidate anything other than it's just going to continue to challenge anyone trying to trade this. Certainly testing the best of us here. This would have to be my primary. Again, I'm leaning into these 2 5s. So because I'm anticipating with a little hopium that this is going to go as a 3, right? Well, then I got to work backwards from that. So if this is going to be a 3 and I've got these 2 5s in here, well, that kind of slots me into 5, 3, 5, right? So there's an X wave. So thus, because again, this can be interpreted a couple of different ways. You can certainly trade this as an ABC into a W, A, B, C into an X, A, B, C. Now, again, as I've said for 5 years, right? An Elliott count is a snapshot in time. Right now, that's what it appears to be. It would not take much, just like last week. Wouldn't take much to change that. If this turns into a 5, we got to rethink that, right? So then perhaps A, B, C, it's too soon to call it. It's been technical, as I've shown this. Oh, I showed this on members here. Get this on here. Oh, I posted this on Twitter. All right, so we get, oh shit, wrong one. Hang on. We've got this perfect golden zone tag here. So we come right down here to the golden here, get a reaction. Now we come back the other direction. Of course, it's dominant algo, so it's no surprise. Get it on there. Wick gets through. We don't close above it. Here, certainly on a 4 hour. Now, you go to a lower time frame, you got wicks going through. So the problem with it is it just doesn't look like an impulse, right? So A, B, even if this rolls over here, we go this, we get this into a 5. I still looks more like a 3 into a B. Let's clean this up here. Yeah, things can change when we do something like this, right? Okay, everybody's going to reevaluate, but as it sits right now, you know, it was where I started. I wouldn't force any trades here right now. There's just too much uncertainty. The technicals are easily interpreted, bull bear, right? There's no hard lean into, okay, based on what I can see here, we're definitely going higher. Now, you go back to the weekly, and that longer term trend seems intact. And now we're just wrestling with the 4. Right? I mean, keep some perspective out here. We're wrestling with the 4. Okay, is it in? Maybe, right? If we come over here, ruin the trend? No. Disappoint some people. It's going to hurt some people that are trading with leverage. That's why, particularly for something like Bitcoin, I strongly encourage you trade as little leverage as possible, right? Now, if you're down, trading on short-term stuff, a different ball game. But for the long-term position play, you just hold in spot, and that way you don't get squeezed out on a sell-off like that. As far as I'm concerned, I have very little doubt this is going to complete up here. But when it completes be the question. So I take no, all I did was buy some, right? I bought some as it was coming down. I was so sure this was a 5 as it came down here. I bought more here, right? And took the draw down here. Well, now I'm back above where I bought it, right? But this, again, it could roll over again and back underwater. But I don't really sweat that because I'm buying in spots, so I don't worry about the leverage. And because I'm such a long-term bull, I don't worry about it. I don't think we're going down here to test 15 again. Of course, shit, I'm wrong all the time, right? Aren't we all? So as we sit here looking at this is a floater. I don't think you want to do anything right now in terms of any significant investment capital going in. If you're in, sit tight, try and stay with spot, let this thing sort itself out. Okay, so back here, I don't know there's much else to add here. Let's see, right? Even this rolls over 1, 2, 3, 4 is still a good candidate for a B coming down for the C. Maybe we're going to the 50. What's that? Right, so we'll come to a 4. Right? It's just a big sideways box we're in. Very typical of a 4. After this rip-roaring, raging impulse, stall, impulse. A lot of corrective activity here, making it very challenging for whether you're Elliottician or market structure, I don't know, whatever you're trading. Difficult trading in here. So why force anything? Let this sort itself out. It'll show its hand sooner or later. Okay, let's go over to ETH. ETH's probably get rocked more than any. This is probably the most altered count of anything I have, and this is very much came from one of my senseis, Sensei PK. You know, he sits in for me often if I'm unavailable on a Friday. This is his count. I think it's valid as any. The idea of a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 kind of blew up here. It's not a massive overlap, but it's enough, right? That's enough. So it has to be relabeled, reconsidered. Okay. All right. One possibility here is we're doing it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. Long 4. Well, pardon me. Actually, it'd be over here. Do I love it? No. Do I see an alternate? It's not that I think fits rules and guidelines any better. This is an abrupt change to pull the 3 over here. But certainly you can see it, how it could be. Right? 3, 4, 5. You can see that internal contender there. Oh, let's go minuet here. Always just a snapshot in time, right? Just takes the market doing something like it's just done here to completely change your perspective. Now, does that change the bull market? No. Again, looks like another, or we'd be looking for another 3, and then we go. Pretty big adjustment in ETH. Let's go over to Ripple here. They've got some good news here, but it's not really being reflected in the market. 1, 2. I'm on a weekly here. 1, 2, 3. Much like ETH, A, B. We're just going sideways. A, B, C, D, E. Right? Contender. Clearly an impulse. Going up for the 5. I'm very long here. The spot, right? So I don't get shaken out. I don't see any other, if you're applying Elliott Wave here, I don't see any other count here that looks better. It's been a chop monster of a whole lot of 3s for a long time. When are we going back here? 2017. Long wait. Still very much in play. Oh, I think last one's here. I have Cardano. I got a 4-hour here on Coinbase. Let me pull that out here. Looks all right here. I've got some market structure on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. WX looks like a triangle. ABC. And so look, now are we done? It's much like Bitcoin. It's not a great start. That's why I had the 4-hour there. Is that not a great start? Again, I wouldn't force anything here. I've got plenty of this. Again, spot, right? So I'm not sweating it, but I don't have clarity here. So why force any new trade? Would be my suggestion for any and all. Solana. Looks decent. Is it in? Kind of the same idea here. Sideways 4. 1, 2. It's right in line with the geometry of the channel. So that's pretty tempting, right? If anything, right? So we can get, but we don't have a good 5 yet, right? So that's what you would forecast. But we're not trying to predict the future. We're just trying to say, okay, based on what I can evaluate here, what seems most probable? That's all we can ever do. Certainly all the characteristics of a 4 are in place after this beautiful impulse, just going sideways. Now, can I kick out of here with a 5? Well, the first one is the one we need. We need a 5 here. Do I have it? It looks like Bitcoin. A, B, C. Doesn't look like an impulse. So, well, again, why force the trade here? Very, very reasonable possibility that we're just done, or we've got another leg to go here. Right, and this has got another 4 gets pushed over to the side here, and it turns into something complex. It's just not good enough. Why force? You're not going to miss anything. Well, not enough to where it would be dramatic. See? It'd be a tiny little C. Doesn't look like it's done. But if this turns into, oh shit, can we even do it? You don't have an impulse there. You actually might have to do A, B, C here. That could go higher. Lack of clarity. Again, why force the trade? Summertime, volume's low. A lot of people are not trading as much as they would, during peak season. So, chill out. Watch it. Something develops. Different story. Let's go look the S&P here. This has been quite a ride. Well, it looks like we've got a contender here to come back here and do this. As I was saying last week, this just doesn't look like it's enough to be done. Oh, let's go back out to a daily. It's just not enough time, right? Again, market's under no obligation to do anything. We may be off to new highs, but again, just looking, what does it typically do? This would be a mighty abrupt correction to correct this entire move here. Where we've come, if this is the 2 from 23, we're going to do all of that in 2 weeks, maybe. It's not how I would play it. I would wait to see if I get a better opportunity down here. Now, if it starts to turn into an impulse, but do we have an impulse there? Sure looks like a 3 to me. It looks like they're all kind of doing a 3. So, again, why force a trade? Of course, right? Our friend Al. Oh, they got a little wick through it. Let's get you there. Just like, barely. Right? They might have gotten through there a bit. Well, it looks like a close. That's right. I'm right on the 65. If anything, right, you'd have to give the edge to bears here. So, but again, they're all kind of doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like an ABC, doesn't it? A, series of 3s. B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. It's nice to see that recovery after the big sell-off, but is that a great start to it? Looks like a good start to an A to me. But again, all it takes is some big move here, and you're recalibrating, readjusting to what the market is dictating. Right? We're just trying to look and see what's most probable based on historical patterns that we know are prone to repeat. Where's Al? What's Al done last? Where's the geometry? It's just a process, right? We do the same thing all the time. 5 years. It's just we demonstrate the methodology we teach. Sometimes it's very clear, sometimes it's not clear. So the best thing to do is not force a trade, right? Just because you've decided you're a trader doesn't mean you need to be in the market at all times or be adding or subtracting. Sometimes the best thing to do is just no trade. Let things sort themselves out. So with that, that's all I got here. The market's kind of flat today anyway. Nothing to really warrant massive action. So relax, try and stay cool wherever you are. God, I'm here in Texas. It's just disgustingly hot. So try and enjoy. We stay away from leverage here until things sort themselves out. With that, guys, have a good weekend. I'll catch you next week.